You're listening to Sam Nixon in for Gail Lofthouse on BBC Radio Leeds. Now, next Monday, the 8th of April, the fourth generation family business, Wyedean Weaving in Haworth, celebrates its 60th anniversary with a very special showing of its handcrafted Irish Guards King's colours ahead of the colour being trooped on the 15th of June at the King's Birthday Parade. The Yorkshire firm has secured a 7-year, £5 million contract to replace all British Armed Forces standards and colours with the King's insignia and Tudor crown. It's a fantastic time for the firm, and here to tell me all about it is Robin Wright, the CEO of Wyedean Weaving in Haworth. Welcome, Robert.
Good morning, Sam.
How are you, Robin? You all right?
Yes, we're excellent. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me on the show.
No, you're very welcome. It sounds like you're excellent. That listen, if anybody listening to this radio doesn't understand anything I've just said, could you just explain it a little bit more for us? But it does sound like a very, very exciting time for you and your company.
Well, it is, yes. We basically make insignia and uniform accoutrement and regalia, which is quite a mouthful. But a part of that is also making regimental colours and standards. And the King has his birthday parade every year in June, and they troop a colour or a standard. And this year it's the turn of the Irish Guards, and so we've had the honour of making their colour, which has to have the King's new insignia, C3R insignia, and the King's crown on it, together with all the battle honours of that particular regiment. So that's basically what the colour is.
So what colours are what are colours and standards? What does it actually mean for anybody listening thinking, oh, that's what it is?
So a colour or standard is essentially a flag, but it's a very important flag because it contains the battle honours of that regiment or squadron that go way back to its origins. And so it is the most precious item that squadron owns because it signifies those who have fallen in battle. And so the items, once they're made, are actually consecrated quite often in the King's presence by the Chaplain General. And then the regiment look after them very carefully and only bring them out on special occasions. As I say, they are revered because they represent the fallen from those regiments from years gone by.
So your company, Wyedean Weaving, have you always made military accessories, or is this only just started with this new contract?
We've always made military accessories, regalia, insignia and so forth, but this particular contract is relatively new to us. It actually came to us 2 years ago, this particular one, soon after the Queen died. Her Majesty the Queen passed away, and it was evident there was going to be a coronation. So all of a sudden there had to be 4 of these made for the coronation, and so the pressure was on.
Yeah, I would imagine it was. Yeah, what was that like at the time?
Well, quite stressful. But we only had about 5 months to make 4, one for the Grenadier Guards, the state colour, which was actually in Westminster Abbey, one for the Life Guards, which travelled behind the King's coach in the processions, and also one for the Royal Navy and a standard for the Royal Air Force, who were in the procession. So 4 of them in 5 months. It normally takes a person about 6 months just to make one on their own. Wow. A very labour-intensive product.
And what was that like then when you got to see that on TV?
Oh, we were extremely proud. All the staff involved. It was a team effort, was this, and everybody's extremely proud with the work that we've done. It was the end of a process, and we made it. So, but here we are again now, doing the next one for the trooping of the colour this year. As indeed we did one for last year as well. So there was actually a 5th one to do for the trooping, which followed the coronation a couple of months afterwards. So we're used to the pressure now, and we keep up the ante.
Well, I was saying in my intro that on Monday it's your family business's 60th anniversary, and I believe it was your parents that set up this business, and your mummy's still in charge. Is that right?
Mum is still in charge. Yes, she's the chair. She makes sure, keeps us on the straight and narrow. But yes, on the 8th of April 1964, they begged and borrowed and sold the house and managed to set up a fledgling business. And here we are 60 years later, still going strong. So it's only right that we celebrate it with our staff and some of our friends and associates. And we have some of our customers from the Ministry of Defence coming up to see us as well on Monday.
Oh, amazing. What is the secret to your success? 60 years of doing this. That's pretty amazing.
Well, we were in a textile business, and textiles in Yorkshire has been decimated, but we are niche. It's specialised in the sense that the textile badges. And now, of course, we've broadened out into other things such as colours, but also metal insignia and leather insignia. In fact, we make all the items which adorn the mounted regiments of the British Army. That's the Household Cavalry, the Bruce and Royals, the Life Guards, and also the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery that pull the gun carriages and so on. So it's about diversity. It's about opening up new doors, and then you'll survive.
And just briefly, if you could just go into what actually goes into making one of these colours or standards. Like when we see it on the TV, and we'll probably just take it for granted. But as you just said there, sometimes it can take weeks and weeks and weeks for one of these things to be made.
Yeah. So first of all, the backing material is pure silk sateen. And then the embroidery threads are also pure silk or gold bullion. And each thread is laid down by hand. And also, as a flag or a colour has two sides to it. So when those stitches are laid, they are creating the insignia, the motif on both sides at once. So the same stitch is called through and through embroidery. And literally the ladies who do this have a mirror underneath them, and so they can see what's happening underneath the table as well as above. And that's why it's so skillful and why it takes such a long time to do.
Wow, that is a massive skill. Is there still lots of people around doing this work?
No, about 3, and they work for us. So that's why it's quite a high-pressured thing. And those 3 ladies have over 90 years of experience of doing this. So we need to keep this skill going, and that's work in progress, so we say.
Yeah, how do you do that then? Do you get people in who are obviously interested in textiles and stuff like that, and train them up on it?
Yeah, it's a handicraft. It's a skill that we want to continue. The king, there are a lot of colours, and all the regiments want his insignia on their colours. So over the next period of years, we will be making quite a few more colours and changing the insignia from E to R to C3R and the new shape of Windsor crown from the previous St Edward's crown. Yeah.
Wow, I love this. Will you actually get an invite to the Trooping of the Colour and the King's Parade?
Well, no, we actually all went last year. The whole team Wyedean went down to London, and we made a mill trip of it for the weekend. So we all got to see the colour being trooped last year. So we don't necessarily want to make an annual event of it because it was quite an expedition last year, and everybody had a good time of it.
I bet you did. Well, listen, it's amazing. Congratulations on securing that 7-year deal. It must be a wonderful time over there. And thank you for telling us all about it. I've learned a little bit more today.
You're welcome. It's nice for Haworth, nice for the team here, and thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. That there is Robin Wright, the CEO of Wyedean Weaving in Haworth. They are the Yorkshire firm who has secured a 7-year, £5 million contract to replace all British Armed Forces standards and colours. How amazing is that?